Imagine entering the world with no arms and no legs. Imagine your parents' heartbreak as they held their newborn, their dreams for him momentarily shattered and eclipsed by the shadow of an unbreakable question. How will he live? Well, this is how Nick Vujicic's story begins, a story that defies all odds, shatters every expectations, and inspires millions. Let's learn a little about this man. Born in Melbourne, Australia on December 1982, Nick came into this world with a rare condition called tetra amelia syndrome that left him without any limbs. His parents were devastated. His mother could not even bring herself to hold him for the very first few days. But despite their initial heartbreak, they made a promise to themselves to love him fiercely and teach him to embrace life as it is. Growing up, Nick's days were filled with struggles that most of us cannot even fathom. Simple tasks like brushing his teeth and flipping a page felt insurmountable to him. At school, things even got worse. He became a target for the bullies, their taunts echoing in his mind long after the school bell rang. Every stare, every whisper, and every cruel word carved into his wounds and into his self-esteem. At the tender age of 10, Nick hit his rock bottom because of that, and the weight of his differences and loneliness that came up along crushed him. One evening, he decided to end his life. He filled a bathtub, ready to let the water take him, but as he sank into despair, a thought gripped him. If he gave up now, who else will lose hope because of him? And that's where he stopped. That question changed everything for him. Instead of surrendering to his circumstances, Nick began to fight back, but not with anger, with an unshakable determination to find his purpose in his pain. At 17, he stood before a small group of students to share his story. His voice trembled, his heart pounded, but as he spoke, something extraordinary and magical happened. His audience wept. They saw not a boy without limbs, but a soul who had an unimaginable challenge and chose to rise above them. That day, Nick discovered his gift, which were his words, and they could heal hearts. From that moment, Nick's life took a flight. He graduated from Griffith University with a double degree in accounting and financial planning. But his true calling pulled him into a different direction. In 2005, he founded Life Without Limbs, a non-profit organization dedicated to spreading hope. Nick began searching and speaking to rooms filled with a dozen of people initially, then hundreds, and then thousands. Word spread of this man who lived without arms or legs yet radiated more than anyone else's life. Soon Nick was traveling across continents, addressing audiences in more than 78 countries. He spoke to students, CEOs, prisoners, and even presidents, and all with the same unyielding message. Your value is not defined by what you lack, but by what you can give. For years, Nick wondered if he would ever find love. Would anyone see past his body to the man within? And in 2012, he found his answer in Kanae Miyahara, a radiant woman who saw not Nick's limitations, but his heart. They married in an emotional ceremony that proved that love knows no boundaries. And together, they have 4 children today, and their family is a living testament of the power of faith, love, and resilience. Nick has done something what the world told him was impossible. He swims, he surfs, and he skydives. He has written books like Life Without Limbs, Unstoppable, Be the Hand and Feet, among others. He types with his toes, answers mails, and holds his wife's hand with a single foot-like appendage he himself calls the chicken dumbstick. Nick doesn't just exist, he thrives. Nick Vujicic is more than just a motivational speaker. He is a force of nature, a man who refused to let life's cruelest hand define him. He meets with children who have been bullied, reminding them that they are enough. He holds the hands of men and women on the brink of giving up, whispering that you are not alone. Nick's story isn't about a man overcoming his physical limitations. It's about a man or a human with unbound spirit, a man who refused to let life dictate what he could or could not do. He transformed his pain into power and scars into stepping stones. Today, Nick Vujicic stands as a beacon of hope for millions. His laughter is infectious, his faith unshakable, his message is timeless. Life isn't about everything you want, it's about being grateful for what you have. That's what he messages. Nick's journey reminds us that even in odds, even when we feel things are unbearable, there is always a reason to keep going. Sometimes it's not about if life has given you something, it's about what life you create by yourself. And Nick has created a life that is nothing short of miraculous. This is all in this video. I hope you're inspired by this man, this legend, this mountain of a man, I would say. For more such videos, subscribe. My name is Dr. Ruben Singh. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.